Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something.
Hi there, welcome back to another episode of MacGyver's Workshop, where we're today we're kind of a little too rainy to work on my, or it's going to be too rainy to work on my concrete driveway. So one of the other things is one of my hobbies back in the day was I was a musician, and primarily I was a keyboard player, played a little bass guitar, but you know, that was, of course, that was a long time ago, and priorities and adulting and all that kind of stuff just kind of put the kibosh on all that. And I've still got a good bit of my gear upstairs, but now that we're in the house, I'm going to build the audio desk that I've always wanted, and spend some time and make it look right. So I'm kind of using a fella who had a blog who did his own audio desk, and I'll put his name in here, and kind of made it my own, because his was kind of narrow, so I just made mine a full 8 feet, so I got plenty of room. But let's kind of get on here and let me show you what I've done. I've kind of gotten along started, and I wasn't originally going to make a video of it, and I thought, well, what the heck. So here we go. I'll show you what we got so far. So to make the initial profile of the console, this is going to be a spot for rack mounting equipment. It'll be 4 units, or 4U, and then this will be a sloped front. And now the fellow that I took my inspiration from, he had his recording mixer set down inside here, and all of this was designed to match the profile of his mixer. In my case, I'm just going to leave it all solid and flat across the top, and I'm going to have my music keyboard on here, and then my computer keyboard and everything will ultimately be on a tray that slides out underneath. So let me zoom out here a bit, and we'll show you what we've got. So that's the little slope piece right there, and then that is the riser, and I'll show you here in a second what it looks like when it's actually in place. And then you have, this will be the actual depth of the desk, and it's a wide desk, but you'd be surprised at how quick you run out of room when you're working on one of these. And then that's pretty much going to be the profile of it, at least in the center. And then there's a center 4U rack, then there'll be a 4U rack on each side of it, and that'll hold any of my outboard gear, effects and preamps and things like that, patch bay, etc. And then from there on out, it'll have a kind of like a riser shelf that comes out to the very edge of the desk here. So, and I've kind of should have just went ahead and made the decision to make a video of the project, but I didn't. So sue me, but that's okay. Now get these out of the way here, and kind of get an idea of what the desk will look like. And then of course there'll also be a shelf that runs the entire 8-foot width across the top. It'll hold computer monitors and the studio monitor speakers and all that as well. So, and then we're going to have a big 43-inch, which is actually our old TV, and I'll use that to preview the video when I'm working on my videos. So that'll be cool, I think. And then we're going to stain it an espresso color, which is essentially black. And then I'll show you here what we've got. So we'll use this penetrating wood stain, and they call it true black, but that pretty much matches the espresso color of the rest of my furniture. And then we'll use this epoxy coating, like I did on a video eons ago, where it's called glaze coat, and it's like an epoxy resin, kind of like a bar top coating. You know, if you've ever been there, but I can show you what it looks like, and it's very durable, and it's lasted out here in the workshop, and you know, of course, out here in the workshop it gets a heck of a lot of abuse. So this is just a plywood top, but it's got that epoxy, that clear epoxy coating on it. So anyway, I can't set my tripod up because unfortunately I left it at work, so I'll just be kind of doing run and gun stuff here, holding the camera. None of my special mics or anything like that, so I'll have to turn my fan off when I'm recording, and it is blazing hot. So but anyway, on to the next step. We're gonna put the next rack on each end, and then we'll finish out the ends. Okay, so now I got the other two parts in there. So the computer will mount in there in a 4U rack mount case, and then each of these two racks will be for outboard gear, as I said before, and then we'll come out from here out to the edge and down. So it'll be a little nook in there for stuff, and then there'll be a top shelf here, and then you'll have a little cubby for something in there. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. Alright, so now we got all our pieces in here. I got my top shelf cut laying across the back of the UTV there, and then these two end pieces, I don't want any screws or nails showing or have to worry about filling them in, because we're going to be using a stain. So even if I use wood filler, then you'll see a difference and it'll show. So these end pieces here, they're going to be glued to these vertical stanchions that are put in, that run the width of the desk there. And then they can be screwed in with brackets from underneath, all in there to hold the shelf down, so that the top of the shelf doesn't have any nail holes or screws showing. And then once that sets up and dries a good bit, then we'll lay our shelf down and our desktop here. Okay, so I have my surface glued down, and I got my little end decking in there, or there'll be a little cubby once we have the top on. I'm not going to permanently put the top on yet till I let this stuff here dry first, because I don't want to be tweaking on it to line it up while the glue's still wet. And there we go. And this here be basically the width of a 2x4 stacked too high, and it'll be wrapped in some of that black vinyl to make like a cushy armrest. And That way when you're rolling up there, you're not wearing off the edge of the wood or the finish. And then we'll sand everything that's got any sharp edges on it or whatever, or bird edges, and then we'll be ready to stain it. So, but right now I have to go do the proverbial 3 S's. Because we got a wedding to go to. Congratulations there, Annie, the associate at work, who's tying the knot this evening. So we're going to be heading that way here shortly, and you know, we'll see how it all goes after. Stay tuned.